on spin, you'll notice the kind of hear the weird kind of grinding sound. Use a screwdriver or something to. Can't do it on some models, but I know like these older Kenmore 80, 70 series, you can do this. Alright. That's the sound it's making. We're going to open it up. Well, I'm going to put it back together and then I'll show you how to swap out the coupler. These are the tools you're going to need. You'll need a flathead screwdriver, rubber mallet, right angle drill attachment, 1/4 inch nut driver, the hex, the coupler, comes with 2, and a drill with preferably an extension on it. First things first, let's make sure it's unplugged. I would recommend disconnecting the water, the fill hoses, hot and cold. And since this is going to be super easy, I like to do this just to protect the wall. You never know. You don't want to scuff up anything. But 2 towels, or you can put some rags, fold them up. And next, you're going to tilt it back. The more the merrier. Next, what we're going to do, you're going to push this where the pump is all the way as far as you can. Take the screwdriver and pop the top. These 2 clips, 1 and 2 on top. This one actually you can grab from the bottom. So you can get a good angle. Take that off. Mount the bracket, set it to the side. Next one. Once those 2 mounting brackets are off, go ahead and pull the pump off. Be very careful. Recommend wearing gloves. Set that bracket to the side. Make sure you don't get them mixed up. And just fold this back. Next, you're going to put the nut dryer, 1/4 inch. Onto the right angle attachment. These Milwaukee bits are magnetic, makes it a little bit easier. Let's go. Next, lefty loosey, you're going to take out these hex nuts right here. One at top, one at the bottom. Next, pop these 2 brackets off, just like how you did with the pump. These ones a little bit longer, so don't get them mixed up. Next, grab the motor and kind of wiggle it up. As you can see, this coupler is broken. Sorry. So, kind of hard doing this with one hand. So there's 2 on each side. One's on the transmission. And that one looks good. Probably best to change both of them. But, so you set that one up in here. And kind of give it a little tap with the mallet. Once it's pretty flush, you're good to put it back on. Alright. Got everything where it needs to be. Try to line these up so they can fit directly in the hole. And then too, I'll try to keep the bottom cardboard on this motor, just so it's a good reminder to let you know where the motor is going to be positioned when it's back into place. If anything, if you lose it or it doesn't have it, just make sure the wires are kind of coming out of the right side of the motor, facing this way. It's going to be a little tricky if you haven't done it before. I'm going to try to knock it out real quick. Just like that. Get your longer mounting brackets. That's going to be the top. Oops. Top part first. Then I gotta get a feel for it. Lean the motor a little forward towards. Gonna push it in and twist it. Oops. Alright, I don't have the screws in yet, but we'll get there. Just like at the top. Slide that back part in. And just press it. Next, grab your drill, your attachment. They're magnetic, that works best. Get that crap out of the way. And start at the bottom. Remember, righty tighty, lefty loosey. It's really nice and snug. Go ahead and do the top part too. It just makes life a lot easier if you have these tools. Next, go ahead and get that pump brought down, and we'll see. It's kind of like a, kind of line these up so they can fit in right in place, because it looks kind of like a dome shape. I'll show you guys. Just try to line them up. You can move them with the screwdriver, or you can get a pair of pliers if it's stiff. Right now I'm feeling a little weak, so I'm going to get the screwdriver. Got my pliers. Just trying to angle this in right. It's pretty damn close. Oh, a little more. Sometimes you can kind of wiggle it in like that. There we go. Get the shorter mounting clips. Slide the bottom one in, or top. Top's always the hardest. Push them in. Just trying to find it. Again, always recommend wearing gloves so you don't cut yourself. Alright, we're good to stand this back up. Make sure you get all your stuff, your tools from out underneath. I think it's always good to have like a dry towel on hand, because sometimes, you know, this drain hose can get unhooked depending on what the model is. Switch it back. Alright, this is the finished product. Got it plugged in. I have no water connected to it, but as long as it spins, and I'll try to move it over into the middle so you can see it actuate. But what I'm going to do is, see, got my flat head. I'm going to stick it into, depending on the model, it's a little different, but I know these older Kenmore are kind of straightforward. They have their lid switch right there. And we're going to give it a rip. We'll start on the spin cycle. And if, remember before it wasn't moving, we're going to double check and see if that was the issue. All right, here we go. She's moving.